So the next question was why is social justice important to me? And I think, well, the quick answer is that a lack of justice directly affects me. When a cop pulls me over, or when Queen's University, the university I study and teach at, changes the funding process to make it less accessible to low-income and working-class students, that affects me as a person of color, as a working-class student. More broadly, though, justice is important to me because, as Bell Hooks says, I want to live in a community where power is used equitably, where oppression is examined, and privilege is smashed. And so without justice, I cannot live in such a community.
Bell Hooks famously said, "No education is politically neutral." And I think that is the reality, that engineering education, through its silences on issues like racism, is teaching students about race. And it's teaching them a particular way of dealing with racism, which is specifically ignoring it.
Morning, my name is Joshua Pierce. I'm an assistant professor of mechanical and materials engineering at Queen's University in Canada.
Hello, I'm Dean Newsma, and I'm assistant professor in science and technology studies at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York.
Hi everyone, my name is Usman Mushtaq. I'm a master's candidate at Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario. I'm in the humanitarian engineering stream in the civil engineering department.
Hi, my name is David Munoz. I just recently retired as an associate professor at Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado. Before I retired, I was directing a program called humanitarian engineering.
Hi, I'm Donna Riley. I'm an associate professor in the Picker Engineering Program at Smith College in the United States. Smith College is a small private liberal arts college for women, and we are in fact the first women's college in the country to offer an engineering program.
I've had an interest in social justice issues for quite some time, and I was originally introduced to it in a science, technology, and society class at Penn State University during my graduate school years. And what became apparent, whether the speaker was a sociologist or philosopher or a scientist or engineer, is that many of our kind of most pressing problems really were social problems. They were things that needed to be solved socially. Whether or not we actually had a technical solution was a secondary matter.
In addition to my personal commitment to equity and democratic process, is my commitment as an educator to teach social analysis skills, so students understand the institutional structures and relationships that lead to systemic injustices.
My interest in social justice came after spending some time with my colleagues in liberal arts and international studies contemplating this idea of humanitarian engineering.
My interest in social justice actually predated my interest in engineering. When I was in high school, I was involved to a small extent in a number of social justice issues, including opposing U.S. aggression in Central America, working for nuclear disarmament, increasing AIDS awareness, and also working on environmental issues, which I found very compelling, having grown up in Los Angeles, where there's a significant amount of air pollution. And so I founded an environmental club at my high school, and I became very interested in majoring in something having to do with the environment.
I became interested in social justice through two events in my life. The first was living in Saudi Arabia. I grew up there for most of my early childhood. We were in Saudi Arabia during the first Persian Gulf War. In the first Gulf War, the U.S. occupied the city my family lived in at that time, called Riyadh. After the war ended, we were kicked out of the country. But I do remember seeing all these instruments of war in the sky, like all these helicopters, troop transports, aircrafts just coming into what I considered my home at that time, coming without my permission, like literally filling up the skies of my home with all kinds of weaponry and machinery and death and destruction. It showed me, having lived through that, it showed me the imperial side of American foreign policy. I ended up working for this software company developing simulation software. Now, I ended up getting assigned to this project, designing simulation software to test hull strengths of aircrafts and helicopters. And so this was really the second event in my life that connected back to the first event, which is, I'm designing the same helicopters and troop transports and aircrafts and weapons. I'm contributing to the design of these weapons that had negatively impacted the lives of my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, and I. If I, the victim of technology, weapons technology, could end up designing the same weapons or contributing to their design, what hope do other engineers have?